Okay, now you see, I didn't lie you, huh? They really can learn very complicated things and also have the creative ability. Language is a very, very special thing. You may go to the circus, to see all the animals. They can do all kinds of tricks, very cute. But those behavior usually is like a chain of the operant condition. Do you understand operant condition? Just one behavior by the other one. If you change the item, they totally don't know what to do. They will get shocked. And then you have to train all the behavior from beginning. But once you learn the language, you know the sequence like verb and the objective, subjective, you just change the word and they can do things automatically. They understand what you mean. That's why it's amazing. Okay, from now I would like to, it's here, is that right? To make a conclusion or end up my introduction about the cetaceans here. They are very unique. At least two very special things. Very low fertility. That means they cannot produce their baby so easily, so often as many animals, even less than human. How often human being can produce a baby? For 1 year, you can produce even 2 babies. Can you? One, you was born in the beginning of the year. The other one can be born by the end of the year. Okay? But each time you can have not only one baby, you have a twin. Is that right? Twin is quite common. And even have 3, and some people have many, more than that. But for cetaceans, it's very, very unlikely. They only have one baby, single baby, and hardly ever have twins. Few cases, they die immediately. And in terms of the calving interval, they need 2 to 3 years. Like killer whale, you like them? They need 8 years. Oh, so their fertility is very, very low. This is one of my PhD students. They did a review all the literature to find out, this is the number of the species name. You don't ignore that, just different species. Okay, this is one female like me, For my whole life, how many baby I can deliver? You see how many? Few species, if they have a long life. Oh, that's right. How long they can live? What is the lifespan of whales and dolphins? For my size, probably shorter, probably 30, 40 years. For that one, you just see it's so smart, bottlenose dolphin, 50 years. For the larger one, like a blue whale, bullhead, they can live over 100 years. The oldest one, the record is 180 years. Why they got that number? How did they get it? No any scientist can live that long to trace one animal until he is over 100 years old. Because they found in his body there's a harpoon, harpoon, the metal left. And for the archaeologists or people study history, they check that shape or the way they prepared that harpoon is about 100 years ago. Okay, so they got that animal, they check that something on his body, so they predict, they kind of trace back, they think that an animal is over 100 or 180 years old. Okay, so you can see most of the animal, the cetacean, in their whole life, they can deliver less than 10 babies, less than 10. In the wild, no hospital. Okay, if half die, that's very normal. And then become less, 5. And then only half are female. Female is more important in biology society because only female can deliver babies, all right? We don't need that many males, okay? So male is not that important, okay? So for one mother, okay, mother dolphin, I can only deliver 2 daughters. After one generation, and each one can have another 2 daughters, so only like twice every 30, 40, 50 years. So that's why the population increase for this species, this kind of species, is very slow. Think about fish. If you ever have a fish, how many fish eggs for one fish? Thousands, even 10,000, 20,000. So many. That's why when our environment, if the water quality keep good, there's some nutrient, some phytoplankton, zooplankton, and then the fish population can go up very quick, can be recovered soon, but not for this animal. That's why if you kill, about the same body size, there's some fish like tuna, wow, so big, the same size as a dolphin. If you kill 100 dolphin, it's totally different from kill 100 fish. Okay, remember that. That's why they are so important, and people need to pay more attention on their conservation. Not only they just cute, intelligent. Now, if you are touched by that movie, you probably think, oh, I'd better save than help them. Okay, so some species, they are very intelligent. They have very high cognitive ability. Okay, how many cetacean species in Taiwan? Around 30. Okay, 30, because for taxonomists, sometimes they think there's some record is wrong. Sometimes they think this species has to split. It's complicated. Anyway, all the species occur in Taiwan. So it's about 30. We have some whales, although not that common anymore. We used to have whaling history, and those days people hunt whales. Now we have more dolphin. Okay, this is just for your reference. I don't give you exam for this, so don't worry about. Okay, in Taiwan we have this family called Ballinopteridae. My pronunciation probably not that great. Okay, 8 species of this, and this is 8 species for your reference. And this tooth whale, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 family. Majorly, most of the species is Endodelphinidae. Okay, 15 species. These are the most common dolphins you can see if you do whale watching. Have you done whale watching in Taiwan before? One person, good. How about in the world? Any other place? Another one? Oh, good. Okay, at least they have two whale watcher. Okay, so these are the major species you can see in Taiwan. I don't have time to go through the detail. But when you go to the whale watching, you see the dolphin, the first thing, try pay attention on the size. Okay, the relative size to your boat. That's important. All of this are size kind of small. And second thing, the beak. The beak, like this one, don't have beak. This one has beak. See? This one is quite common in the Hualien, Taitung, rhesus dolphin. Okay. And have a lot of scratch on their body. Relative their dorsal fin is very large. Okay, and then you can see some like this over the eye have a stripe or some spot. Okay, and this is so this is a photo. This one we call spinner dolphin. If you see their behavior, they come out to the water, they spin a lot. Okay, spin, beautiful. Once in a while, if you're lucky, you can see the gray whale, big one. The most common one is a sperm whale. In average, you can see them once a month, from spring, like March, to August. For killer whale, you can see them once a year, even less, not that often. Okay. For humpback whale, you can see them only once every 2 or 3 years. Unfortunately, I remember 30 years ago when we had the whaling, whaling industry. I checked the record. This species occupy more than 90% of the harvest. Now it become rare, so it can tell something. Although we don't have very good scientific data. Okay, this is my student. We use this kind of terrible fishing boat and very hard environment to do the survey. And we saw the killer whale occur in the eastern coast. This is sperm whale. Okay, their head is so big. Okay, and then okay, I don't have time to talk too much. Anyway, I'm back. The background is an Oki Island, Taiwan. Okay, Oki Island is not in the Western society. Okay, this is Taiwan. You probably see this already. Okay, I don't need to spend more time on this. I want to emphasize the eastern coast is totally from western coast. Eastern coast is so deep, it can go deep very fast. Usually, the cetacean like to show up, occur in the slope. See, slope here. So we are very lucky the slope is so close to the land. That's why if you do whale watching in Taiwan, it's so easy. You go out, within 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you can see dolphin. Unless you are so unlucky, okay? And then, but if you go to other country, I remember I have to pay a lot of money, take the boat at least 2 hours away. 2 hours, and then start to do whale watching. In the western coast, Taiwan Strait is very shallow, in average about less than 100 meters. Although we don't have so many species here, but there are some special species. Okay, in total, Taiwan about 30 species. Oh, I want to emphasize this. In Taiwan, we have about 30 species. However, we occupied 36% of the whole world species. That's why the diversity is very, very high. Although Taiwan is such a small island, but our diversity of cetacean is very high. Okay, the eastern coast is different from the western coast. I organize, review all the data we have or from literature. So in the past, we can found that this area is a hot spot in the eastern coast. It's southern of Hualien. So if you go to Hualien, if you have time, please make an effort, go to the southern. There's another port called Shiti, very small port, very beautiful. You stay there, and the chance to see dolphin is very high. But if you don't have time, Hualien port is good too. They have a good crucial foundation, and they have a very good interpretation program there. Okay, this area so far, my team has done some survey here. You can see we still have not finished the whole Taiwan yet, but here is the hotspot area. And this is for baleen whale record. You can see baleen whale is around the whole Taiwan. This is for stranding. This is for sighting record. Since we see them more often in the eastern coast. Okay, Taiwan Strait. Here we're going to talk about Taiwan Strait. There are two special species occur in the Taiwan Strait. They don't like deep water. They only prefer shallow water. They don't move too far away. You know, like especially like a Chinese white dolphin. I think we should give them ID card, you know. Because they don't move too far. They should belong to Taiwan, you know. Okay, this is a Chinese white dolphin. In the whole world, they live in this kind of environment, okay, very close to the land. I think any species, if they live such close to human being, their fate is doomed. See, they are facing so many threats. See, the pollution from the air, and cargo, big vessel travel back and forth, and some sewage or the water drainage, you know, carry a lot of chemical, unknown chemical, poison chemical, terrible chemical pollution. And fishery impact, the fishery maybe even overfishing, take a lot of fish they want to eat, or even have a net or boat collision, you know, like they make a wound. And the last one, noise, I just mentioned. So far, we don't have any idea about what kind of noisy environment of the water around Taiwan. The life history of this special animal, Chinese white dolphin, when they're born, they are not white. They're born as gray, very evenly distributed gray, and light gray, and spotted gray, and a very little spot, and become adult, okay? The population in Taiwan is such small, less than 100, this population. That's why it has been listed by IUCN in last year as a critical endangered category, CR, just right next to extinction, you see? Yeah, the next step is extinction. That's why this attracts a lot of attention by the international society, also the local conservation society. So I would like to briefly introduce their research history. It's separated into 3 stages. The first stage, I just lead my student, Nari. We went to different port and just interview fishermen. Oh, have you seen this species or this species? They just, oh yes. And when they drunk, they don't like to talk to us. They, oh, this. But sometimes they will say, oh, this species, which part is more delicious? And then I think the one, if they can say that, probably more trustable. But that's our very preliminary work, Yeah, even cannot call it a real science. Okay, anyway, in the beginning stage, we found 3 places. The fishermen say, yeah, they saw white dolphin. And later, during 94, 95, I got a little bit grant from Hong Kong, a watch, famous watch. So I went to Kinmen and Xiamen to do the preliminary work with Professor Huang. And in Xiamen, they have a very special fishing gear like this. Set net. They drop into the water for a while and then leave it and then get fish. Sometimes the dolphin will show up around, so my RA just sit there, all the time, just like 看海的日子. For people as Chinese, you maybe read this a very famous novel or movie. Okay, 看海的日 sit there, you know, and get a little bit data, but that's not that good. Anyway, so in 2000, there's a famous paper, scientific journal. On this Jefferson, he claimed there were 8 populations in this area, Big China area, but he refused to prove the occurrence of white dolphin in Taiwan, although I told him. Until 2002, another young fellow, Dr. Wang, and he did a preliminary survey from the northern tip of Taiwan to the Kaohsiung here. He surveyed three trips, so in total it's 6. 1, 2, 3, and then he found the Chinese white dolphin in this section here. Okay, and then he was so brave to predict, you know, to estimate as in average 99 animals. And in my group, we started in 2005. At the beginning, we don't have hardly very little money, so we only go out 7 trips, you know, just day trip, 1 day, only can do 1 county, very small. And then next year includes 18, and we also use questionnaire to ask fishermen by each county again to see which county has animal. And then gradually we enlarge. You can see when our sample size is so small, the blue dot means interview, from interview. The red means survey. So the first impression we got is think, oh, Chinese white dolphin, they're clumped. Their distribution around the western coast is clumped. Okay, that's our first impression. Seems close to the river mouth, like people say Hong Kong's population or not. And then since last year, my team was lucky to get many agencies funding. Now we increase our survey effort from, you know, 10 or 20 per year, increase to 100 and 150. Now we have a much better view. We accomplish our survey from the Miaoli County and 1, 2, 3, 4 until here. And then we make an effort to standardize. Finally, we have a relative abundance. I don't want to bore you with those data. Anyway, the final conclusion is the range of the Chinese white dolphin, Susa chinensis, because the first specimen was found in China. That's why the last species name we gave a chinensis, means some specimen was found in China. Okay, so the range in Taiwan is from Miaoli to the northern Tainan. The 2 hot areas here, the Siriling and Waisanding Bar. If you are interested, you can visit Waisanding Bar. It's a very unique sandbar, very far away, very large. Okay, and then in the outside range, you can see the dolphin, and also from this area is a hot area. So because their population is so small, I think definitely we should do something. That's why right now it's very busy. I'm very busy for this issue. Okay, we have lots of meetings. This is the place they occur, like water deaths. This is our old data, but I show you. The average water depth is about only 7 meters, 7 to 8, see? And you can see that most of them, more than 90% of the data occur in the water depth less than 15 meters. So that means they only live very shallow water and only very close to the shore and don't move too far away. You know, if you are president, should you give them an ID? Yes, my student, try to give them ID. Okay, we have to take a photo 1 by 1 and cut all the dorsal fin and to try to recognize each of them. Okay, for anyone, they have 2 sides. Both sides the picture, we have both sides. 73 number, and some of them have right and left. And get together, we can estimate their number is like this, around 82, 88. However, for this younger one, just born, their skin are such beautiful, don't have any spot, you know, like I'm getting old, have lots of spot. So if an alien, they can recognize me by my spot. But for the younger one, we cannot, but we know they occupy about 10%. So we add them together. So that means, oh, this is not right color. So the population size, my group think they are between 90 to 96, okay? So quite small. Okay, now we talk about the change of cetacean status in Taiwan. Now we talk about history of the conservation in Taiwan. One important year is 1990. Okay, please remember that. 1990. Right now it's almost 20 years late. Wow, the time passed fast. Yeah, before that we had a whaling history I mentioned to you. This is in the southern Taiwan, Hengchun. Hengchun, do you know Hengchun? Southern tip of Taiwan. Okay, near Kendim Park. Okay, this is a big chunk. This is a humpback whale. Humpback whale is famous for the long flipper, like a long hand here. You can see this is our former Chiang Kai-shek president. Okay, in the past, when I was kids, every time I saw the picture, we have to, stand straight like this. But now, politicians can pass away, and their fan can pass away. But the truth, about the science, we are more interested in this animal anyway. So the science can live forever. Now this animal, you may look at it, see what's this? This means groove. If you see any big animal with a belly have a lot of groove, that's baleen whale. This groove, they can have flexibility, can open when they feed. Their mouth, even throat, can open. They have a big capacity. So only baleen whale has this. So you can definitely tell this baleen whale, and also the long whitish flipper. So it's a humpback. That's a killer whale. Oh, they call the killer whale. Okay, this is another baleen whale. This is belly with the grooves. Okay, in 1990, Penghu Island. Do you know Penghu Island? Penghu Pescados Island in the center of Taiwan Strait. If you don't, go there in the summertime. It's a beautiful island. Lots of islands, okay? And then the local people depends on fishing very much. In the wintertime, usually a group of bottlenose dolphin will pass by that island. So the fishermen will get together. Oh, let's catch dolphin. So they will go out and catch dolphin or chase them, drive them into the lots of harbor, natural harbor or port. And then on the ocean park, ocean world, the people will go there, select the smart young ones for prey, for show, and then what happened to the rest? Just like a fish, harvest and kill them and sell them. So they kill the dolphin, and then that moment, and the 4 people from the Earth Trust of U.S. they came to visit. So Earth Trust NGO from United States. They filmed the whole thing and released the film in Hawaii. Of course, it invited a lot of criticism because at that moment Taiwan's economic had been doing very well, very rich. So people cannot believe Taiwanese kill this kind of animal. And that's the moment I just got my PhD, returned home. I was looking for the new subject or new direction for my career. I didn't study dolphin before. My PhD was on rats. Mammal, just small. But they are smart, I studied their learning behavior, food selection behavior. My master's degree I done in Taiwan is on squirrel. So I was from the rodent evolved into the ocean. But that moment I was looking for something, and I was interested in smart animal. I like dog very much. So I said, wow, this kind of animal, if you go to US or I think Europe too, you definitely know how much value people pay attention or people put on this kind of animal. People like them. People think that they are so important animal. But in our country, I graduated from the Department of Zoology. That moment, there was the only Department of Zoology in the whole country in Taiwan. However, no any teacher teach me cetacean. No, even in the taxonomy class of mammalogy, it just totally leave out. So I said, well, this is important. I should do something. So I decided, since 1990, I get involved in this area. So also in that area, that's a springtime, fishermen kill dolphin. So in August, my government found in our fresh, newly passed wildlife conservation law, and we missed that animal. So they put all the cetaceans, add to the list of protected species later. And then talk about stranding program. Stranding program is once in a while they stranded, so we have to do some response. Either they die, we can collect the sample, and that's my first motivation. Very simple, very simple. For biologists, I cannot just interview the fishermen, they get drunk and point, this species I saw. That's not good science data. I need a specimen to prove what I see. So my motivation is very simple. I cannot go out to kill dolphin or whale for study, so I should wait for the God's will, When I have stranded, I try to collect. That's my treasure. So I start from that. However, that's an early stage, From here, okay, sorry. The earlier stage is the Ocean World. Richard Chen is a vet. He's very interested in dolphin. Actually, I think maybe part of his motivation, try to collect some, try to inform the fishermen to help them collect live ones. And I started very simple, and the next year I found the live stranded. Oh my goodness. When you found the live stranded animal, I told you, can we push them back direct to the water? No, you better not. You have to ask the vet to check what is the condition of them and make sure they can survive, and then push them back if they are healthy. If they are not healthy, what can we do? Can we kill them? But in New Zealand, they don't want to, put them in an artificial pool or something. They have some criteria. If they are hopeless, yes, they kill them. You scum. But only few people have got a license can do that. It's very complicated. But in Taiwan, what can we do? The news reporter always wait for you. What? Don't you do something for them? What are you going to do? Okay. And I feel very sorry too. So I was very lucky to get many volunteers and students, and some of them have with background in vet. Okay, so I had a couple of students from the vet school, and so we get together and work together, start from the learning, try and error, and start from that. Okay, this is the first minke whale we got from Yilan. We shifted the Taichung Museum, the parking lot. We dissect there, and after a while, all the neighborhood complain a lot, hate us. And this is another one, sperm whale, the biggest one in our team collected. And it's in the almost New Year. You can see so big. It's very difficult, and you have trouble how to ship them. Even the first time we just only call one crane, and then leave it, don't drop. I remember before that, a couple of years ago, we tried that, drop next time, and we are on the head of the news again. And ask us, don't torture animal, even they die, you have to respect the life. 尊重生命啊，勿做二度伤害。Yeah, but people hardly understand. I never trained that. I don't know how heavy they are. Drop. And they are so slippery. The whole body is so fatty. Very oily. So it's and also the body is not evenly distributed like a wood. You see, some places is thicker and smaller. So it's difficult to get the gravity center. Okay. And then this one we try very hard. One did not work, so we found another one. One can lift 40 tons. We got another one. So this one at least 40 tons, or maybe 50 or 60. And then after we lift it, okay, put it in the truck. It's so long, the tail out. And what happened? We passed the center of Tainan city, and it exploded. Okay, because probably we worked too long. The temperature was hot, so the belly is swollen. We didn't notice, so it became big news. Okay, at first I said, "Oh my God," and then I said, "Oh, now it became the national news," and then I said, "Education, that's good." And finally, I realized it became the world news. When I attended another international conference, they would say, "Oh, in Taiwan you have a exploded sperm whale. Is that right? Is that yours?" I said, "Oh, my team's." And now this one is his skeleton exhibit in the Tainan, a small museum. This is Professor Wang from Chengkong University. Yeah. You see, the first moment when they explode, his response is, "Oh, please collect all the guts, the intestine. That's my treasure. Please get it back." My goodness. So that's why my team need very special people. They're very stinging, very bad. And more than 100 volunteers work on more than a couple months and finish this, the blubber, the help. And now is exhibit in Tainan.
So how are you going to freeze those meat?
Finally,
how you store those there?
You used to
How you
store. It depends on if you for example, for analysis, of course, freeze or in formalin. But for all this, we have to burn them. Yeah. Deposit or sometimes deposit in the beach underneath the ground. Yeah. Okay, that's a stage two. I pretty much say we have many scholars, different scholars or volunteers. They join, and we form TCS and Taiwan Citation Stranding Network in 96. This is like a connect the different agency. Everybody just can, based on the volunteer base. If there's something happen, they will come to help. However, this is only for connection by different agency. For those individual, if they are interested in citation, and finally, I established the society, Taiwan Citation Society, in 98. Okay, the headquarters of this society is very close to here. Okay, near Gongguan. If you go to the movie theater, and that's it. So this is the organization, old one. Okay, and Taiwan Citation Society. At first, it's based on Taida, this university. But after the Taiwan Citation Society was established, I think this coordination work should not be the mission for professor for academic school. So I shifted to NGO. And now, the latest one, the government, the central government want to, the county government play more role. So this has been modified. The county government become more important, put in the center. Okay, stage 3. And after that, the coordination and strengthening response become more fluent professionally. And also a lot of public education program was formed. Like I have organized 12 symposium every 1 to 2 years, and more than 30 workshops. And so the awareness of citation conservation in Taiwan has rapidly improved. Okay, typical stranding. I just let you know, from all the record I have, and you can see the blue one is number of events, purple one is number of animals. So you can see the blue one go up and low, so it's kind of steady, fluctuate. That's more normal. So from here, we can make an average. So in Taiwan, in average, we have about 40 events a year. 40. That's quite a lot. Even Taiwan's small island, Sometimes we have the difference between the purple one and the blue one. Why? Why such big difference? That means we have mass stranding. That means more than one animal stranded at each time. This is the most common species are 60% are the Delphinidae. Okay. And this is a pattern done by one of my master students. This is more like a winter monsoon. This is summer monsoon. You can compare. The northern Taiwan is about similar, no matter which season. But for southern Taiwan, especially Tainan, and this is Penghu Island I mentioned. You can see in the winter time, they have more stranded here, and also more mass stranded here. After we spend more than 10 years build up the baseline, now it comes in the summer of 2005. 23 stranding within about 1 month and a half. Oh, what's the regular rate? Do you remember? How many stranding each year? 44, good. Yeah, you didn't sleep. Okay, good. Now, 23 occurred in 1 month and a half. Is that strange? Wow. And then my student has to rush everywhere, everyone pick up the phone. No. Oh, shake. For the grant I got from the government, I can only pay 1 full-time RA. So I use all the others. So when we have so many stranding, that's terrible. And then finally, we compare like stranding frequency I just mentioned to you, and also species composition. We found this time more than 90% of species are deep diving species. Deep diving. Some species they don't dive very deep. They just keep shallow. Some species like sperm whale they go dive very deep, and some like a big whale BEAK they dive very deep too. Okay, also our vet also did some examination. We found that the organs have a lot of bubble. Oh, I didn't put the photo. So that guns and lungs have a lot of bubble. So that means there could be something happen. They get shocked, surprised. So they ascended too fast. When you dive, when you come up, you have to take it slow. Is that right? If you come up too fast, what happened? 潜水夫毕业. What's the English term?
There's something to do with life.
I suddenly forget. Anyway, So that's what something happened. So what could be the cause? We try to check. No earthquake, no poison algae, no artificial some drilling, no, except the one thing we don't know. Military practice. Those are secret. So our study is terrible, We have to accumulate data and keep until one day the Cold War, some war stop, and then they can open the data. Maybe I retire or maybe I died. And then you can try to associate the data to do a decent analysis. Okay, sometimes we live stranding, that's what I say. My first motivation get involved in stranding program is very simple. I just want to collect the sample. And then next year we found live stranding, and later we found more than 40% the animals stranded, they were live. So we have to try, and fortunately we got some people help or some aquarium help. So since 1997, we try to do the rehabilitation. We put it in the pond, aquarium, and this rhesus dolphin was so skinny, so we used a stomach tube, okay, put it into his mouth and gave them lots of nutrient. After one day, it died. We are so sorry. We cannot cry. We cannot do funeral. We have to dissect him immediately. Okay, dissect. Okay, we dissect and open the body and open the stomach. Oh my God, 2/3 of stomach full of plastic bag. See what stuff we have in our ocean. We have to think about. And then this is another one we call Lucky, although he was not that lucky. Okay, he was live stranded, and we put it in this portable. And one rich man donated this pool. We can open it and afford it and move it. Okay, a portable pool. Okay, here. And then also the Taipei Zoo people, they come bring their ultrasonic, machine to diagnosis on their body and try. Okay. Finally, number 6 we work. Number 16. Okay, we call rhesus dolphin, a male one. And finally, after more than 2 months torture work, everybody was so excited, was exhausted. And then finally, we have to release. We don't have a good facility for them. So that's 2000. I will have a movie to show you that. Okay, this is the first one. We call the Uncle Atung, because in those days, I tried to name them, based on the first location, the stranding site. It was stranded in Tongxiao, in Miaoli County, Tongxiao. And then, so we call Atung Bo, Uncle Atung. So, what is the sex? It's a male. What is the age? Not young, old, Yeah. Because you can tell from this scratch, the elder one, they have more scratch. This scratch from their same species, the different partner, they get angry, they get scratch, they bite. Although it's not big a wound, but you can see a lot of scratch. Okay, finally, when we release, after 2 weeks, release from here, it got to the Okinawa. So fishermen see them. We don't have money to put satellite, so that moment we use a freezing band, make a Miaoli M number 1, and also put a Lucky 7, ear tag, for cattle, Lucky 7. So when this animal swim, around, and the fishermen found it, Japanese, although they don't have law, okay, Japanese, anyone can kill dolphin and eat it. It's legal. However, Japanese really respect the people's research. When they see this animal has a mark, so they call the Tokyo and those specialists say, "Oh, we found an animal. Is any one of you do some research on them?" So the citation and scientists in Tokyo and say, "No, we don't do that." And then they send an email again to the whole world. And Hong Kongese has sent an email, and there's a friend in Hong Kong. When he forwarded this mail, I said, "Wow, that's mine." Okay. Now we got an international, communication. That's good. Okay. Finally, talk about whale watching. I will go run fast. Okay. This is whale watching started in '97 because the year before my team went to the Hualien to did some boat survey. We proved the dolphin diversity and abundance was so good, in eastern coast. And we were lucky. There's one Captain Ling of Hai Jinghao. He was interested to try because for most fishermen they are very stubborn. they want to keep their tradition very much. They don't want to change. Because think about, when you do the fishing harvest, you go to the ocean, you are the king of the ocean. You do whatever you want, is that right? But when you do the tourism, you become the lowest level. Hi, yeah, hi, you know, what do you want to treat your how can I say, your guest very well. So the attitude, philosophy is totally different. So I really appreciate his willing to try. Anyway, in the first year, only one boat you can see, and he made a lot of income. A lot of people cannot get the ticket, get a seat, go on the boat. And then it increased so fast. 4, 12, 25, and increased a lot. Now it's hit the plateau. Okay, so this is pretty much the area you can do whale watching. In Yilan, there's a Wushi port and the Turtle Island around here. Okay, and this is Hualien port, Shiti port is good, and also this one is good, the Chengkong port and Fugang port. The best two I recommend is these two. The furthest one, usually the furthest one, the environment is better. So you can go there, and in the past they run 2 to 3 cruises in the summertime. Okay, the sighting rate is quite high because they have some strategy. They have some people informed, like fishermen on the sea will give them report. In Yilan County, the original sighting rate is kind of low, but they collaborate. They hire a special boat. That boat go out in the early morning, very early, like in the dark, go out and search for dolphin. Once they found, a group of dolphin here, and that he will follow the group for the whole day. Every time when the tourist boat is coming, they will call, "Where are the dolphins?" "Oh, they are in the latitude, longitude," tell them. However, think about, if you are that group of dolphin, you have been found in the morning, and then for the whole day you have been, in Taiwanese we say 接客. How to translate in Chinese? 接客 for a whole day, So think about, are you happy? Probably not. Yeah, too much stress. And then you don't have time. You don't have the mood for make love, is that right? And then you don't have, and then your birth rate will drop. Birth rate will drop because you feel pressure. Your epinephrine will increase, so your mortality will increase. So in long term, it's not good for the health for the population. These are the common species. Okay, also this I talked about already. Okay, besides you can see dolphin, you can see the scenery. Okay, this Turtle Island, very beautiful. And you can see some bird. Although the seabird is not that common as a Western society, I have to warn you that, be prepared. You can see, sometimes you can see how local fishermen harvest the fish. They have a set net and get a fish. Okay, this is a special fishing way in the eastern coast. They have a very special prey phone here. And people use harpoon. They have a very long, very heavy harpoon. Usually this fishery is only for target for tuna in the winter time, like right now, November to January. If you go to the ocean, if you have experience, the eastern Pacific, the eastern side face the Pacific Ocean. In the winter time, the wave is several meters, 6, 7 meters go up like this. Think about when you stand in the elevator, go fast, up and down. What do you feel? Terrible. But they have to stand on the tip of here, the prey phone, hold the harpoon, and try to get a harpoon. And this guy, they use harpoon. This guy will try to direct. So they have you hold here, have 2 lines in the back, and 1 line, pull a bell. Okay, he pull the bell, ring once or twice. It's signal for another driver in the center to drive, control the engine, control the direction. So they say turn right, turn left. Okay, slow down like this, and then when it's ready, they will shoot. So after I saw them how they do this, I never complain how expensive is a tuna fish. It's so difficult, so dangerous for them. And also Aboriginal people in the eastern coast, they are born as a singer and dancer. Sometimes you can enjoy their culture. Okay, so this just show you the different port and how many cruises we survey. And I created this sighting per unit of effort. That means how many hours you can see how many sightings. So we try to tell you Hualien is a good place anyway. So this is the increase of the boat. You see, now it's hitting plateau, even go drop a little bit. And this is the number of tourists. Now we have about 200,000 tourists to take a whale watching boat out each year. So the price, because the serious competition, the price drop a lot. It's good for you, not cheaper, but not good for this business. That's why the quality will keep dropping too. I feel sad about that. Okay, don't talk about this. In total, how much they can earn for our country, or maybe I should show this. Taiwan Citizen Society keep tracking of the tourists. Give them questionnaire each year. So this is for the ticket expense. In average, it's a 2003 report. It's $800. And how much they spend, not only ticket and food and travel, hotel. So it's about 6 times. Okay, with this kind of data, we can estimate how much money for whale watching to earn. At first I thought, wow, this is a lot of money. 12亿, 14亿 in Chinese. 亿. What's this? 100 million NT dollars. And now I see in the past 1 year, 2 years, we look at how our former president, how much money they can get from the pocket. So easy. So this is just small money. Why I want to say this? For me, it's a lot of money, but for the big picture, for the government, it's a small money. Only 20, more than 20 or less than 30 boats involved. So when we talk about democracy system, vote is more important. So you have the population group so small, only 30 people. Who cares? I don't need your vote. The money you earn is not that important compared to the computer engineering, compared to the petrochemical industry. You understand what I mean? This is I was so proud for a while. I said, oh, finally, conservation don't need to, not cost, not prevent the economic, don't have a conflict with economic. Even conservation can have a benefit, can be good for people's living, like New Zealand. But relatively, the scale is too small compared to other kinds of industry. That's why this kind of issue has not get a lot of attention by our government. Not, so I feel bad about that. So there's some problem. Too many boats, harassment, and nobody really care. Government doesn't care, and business competition is very high. And how can they keep their high quality? Then some people may ask me, why you need a high quality? It's just fun, recreation, one way. But I think it's important because they are protected animal. We are using protected wildlife to make our living. That's why we need to make this kind of tourism, more informative, more educational, more conservation oriented. Not just go there, fine. Oh, they are animal, don't look at that. And maybe some people even use a harpoon. Try. That's terrible. That's why we need a good interpreter program, good tourism program that costs money too. That's what I would like to see. However, it's difficult. Anyway, so I probably will drop this because so many boats there, so you can imagine there's some impact on the boat behavior, on the local dolphin ecology. The spinner dolphin, they show some symptom, like they maybe turn faster or swimming, diving pattern they change. My student did some research. And also after long term, okay, you see the different dot, the blue one and red one. Okay, we compare. See, this is from 98. This is 2006. This is a distance from the shore. You can see the dolphin keep moving further away from the land. There's some signal there. Anyway, so far we don't have any law like a whale watching regulation in U.S. or New Zealand or Australia. We don't have a strong law there. Even we have law, we don't have enforcement power. We don't have people, full-time to patrol there to do the law enforcement. Ticket price, I mentioned that economic recession is bad for this business, so the quality is dropped. So can the cetaceans population sustainable? I don't know. In the eastern coast, we have this kind of problem, also package problem. In the western coast, we have so many impact from the industry planning. It's hard. But in the east coast, now, current strategy, we use one software. We try to issue a whale watching award by the Taiwan Cetacean Society and give like eco-labeling. So right now, I think there's four operators. They have this license. So why so fast? Spend so much effort on this. This is some image in my heart. I also hope you agree with me. Okay, I think whale watching is very important. Okay, they might to take the tourists, go out and make them enjoy the ocean, enjoy the animal, learn about them, learn about what kind of threats they face. So maybe in the future, people can change. Don't use a harpoon to harvest and to conceal it. Instead, drop the harpoon here, and then use the camera to shoot them. This is a madden-headed dolphin, madden-headed whale. Sorry. You see, this is not trend. Okay, he raised his head, he watched people, and people watch him. That's a very nice photo. So I would like to use this photo for the ending of my talk. After 10 minutes rest, I think my eye will be outside to show you, how to do the first response on the stranding site. And then we'll come back. We have the last movie to show you, about another 15 minutes movie, okay? 10 minutes break. And then we assemble outside.